How did you get involved with AppHarvest?
How did I get involved with AppHarvest? So it was kind of, it's a funny story.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're so excited to have two very special guests from AppHarvest, Community Director Ramel Bradley and Director of Culture Amy Samples. Welcome to Simons Middle School.
Mr. Bradley, could you explain what AppHarvest is?
So AppHarvest, we are a new company and we are dedicated to growing fresh, healthy vegetables. And we are working with our neighbors in Appalachia and Eastern Kentucky to provide some sustainable jobs and also to create a pathway through ag education.
And why did you decide to set up your operation in Morehead, Kentucky?
This very, very big greenhouse that we're building, it's 60 acres under glass. We need a lot of folks to come work there. So finding a place that people are excited to come visit, like Morehead and Rowan County and folks from Flemingsburg and the surrounding counties, made a lot of sense because we need about 250 people to come work out there. Finding a place where we could find a large area of flat ground for the 60-acre greenhouse plus the 10-acre pack house. The orientation so that we can maximize the sunlight and we can also get enough rainwater here in Kentucky. Those were all parameters that kind of went into selecting the site here and then making sure people want to come here and want to work there.
How did you get involved with AppHarvest?
How did I get involved with AppHarvest? So it was kind of, it's a funny story. So I believe this, that what you seek is also seeking you. So kind of that energy that you give the world in some way, shape, form, or fashion is gonna also come back to you. So for me, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. My grandmother, she started a mission when I was about 9, 10 years old. And that mission was focused on feeding the hungry. And so I've always been involved in my community. Long story short, I ended up coming to the University of Kentucky to play basketball, but then I also got my degree in agriculture. Why would a kid from Brooklyn, New York get a degree in agriculture? Well, it was the community development and leadership aspect underneath the title of agriculture. So that's why I did that. After I finished my basketball career, I went home to continue to support my family and my community. Then I got a call from my best friend, Jonathan Webb, who's the CEO of the company. And his goal, like my goal was, to get people healthy, to provide them fresh, healthy, nutritious fruits and veggies.
Building on what Ramel said, that fresh foods aspect is something that we're really excited about. Only about 1 in 10 Americans eat the recommended amount of fruits and veggies. So finding a way to get fresh produce into markets without like a 5-day delay. A lot of the produce that are on the shelves at grocery stores right now have been sitting on a truck for like 5 days coming in from Mexico or from the southwest region of the United States. So they're picked when they're green and they kind of have to ripen on the truck on the way to us. And then there's a big carbon footprint there. Climate change is something that our community and society are talking more about. So the ability to grow food kind of on the eastern seaboard in this really concentrated way in the greenhouse, we can grow at 30 times the efficiency of traditional row crop agriculture. So these specialty crops like tomatoes are things that we can grow in a very concentrated way in our greenhouse. And then the orientation of Eastern Kentucky allows us to access 70% of the US population within 1 day's drive. So the tomatoes that we'll pick out of our facility will go to the top 25 grocers across the eastern seaboard, and it'll take 1 day versus 5 days.
Does AppHarvest plan to grow any produce besides tomatoes?
That's a good question. We will be starting out definitely with tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, so those big, juicy, nice slicing tomatoes that you might want to put on like a hamburger in the summertime, something like that, or in a salad. We are also looking at a couple other varieties of tomatoes. The way the greenhouse is constructed, we can grow things that grow on a vine. So that could include things like cucumbers or peppers. But for our Morehead facility, we are going to be focused on tomatoes.
Where did you get the nickname Smooth?
Growing up in Brooklyn, I played in a lot of street ball tournaments. And if you know anything about New York, we like the flashy, bright lights, nicknames, you know, Broadway, all of that stuff. So I used to score a lot of points. And I got the nickname Smooth because of how I used to score my points. It almost looked effortless. So everybody started calling me Smooth, and the name stuck.
This question is for the both of you. You've seen our operation here at Cougar Hill Farm. As experts in the industry, what advice would you offer our students in program?
Me first or you first?
You can go first.
Advice I would offer is be dedicated. You know, we can go to sleep at night and take some time off and relax with our families, but the plants never stop growing. So you really have to be dedicated and take care of the plants, same as you would take care of your friends, your coworkers, or your peers. And if you dedicate yourself to doing that, you'll grow the best fruit or the best leafy greens that you could possibly grow, and everyone will love it and appreciate it, and so will the plants, and so will you.
Again, it's really always very hard to follow Ramel. He gives the best answers, I swear. But just layering on what Ramel shared, I would say don't be afraid to experiment. Learning happens through experimentation. So one of the things that even in our company, we're encouraged to take risks, which feels a little bit scary sometimes.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you just want to go up to that mark of what you know you can do and hit that mark. But what we're encouraged to do, even as professionals now, is to really press our limits a little bit. So do what you think is possible, and then lean in a little bit, lean forward a little bit. So if there's like a new variety of crop that you want to try, go for it. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't quite work out, and the best that can happen is that you've learned a lot and created a whole new experience for yourselves and for your classmates with the Cougar Hill Farm. So just want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are doing amazing things here, and we're thrilled to be here with you guys today.
Y'all are great. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for your time today. Please come back and visit us anytime. We'd love to have you.